Welcome back, everybody, to Empyrion Galactic Survival Alpha 8.6. I'm an old guy gaming, and we're going to continue our work on the ramp. Pretty much just picking up right where we left off. It's only been a couple of seconds for me. So we're going to continue the ramp. We're going to run it off this direction of the mountain, kind of like we surveyed in the J-Jet in the last episode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue working on this. And when I start getting kind of down over the mountain, and that way I'll bring you back, kind of give you a little update on the progress of building this thing. Before we do that, though, I just want to remind you once again that I will be out of town all next week on a business trip. This is the week of September 10th through the 18th, 19th, whatever it is. I will have these videos that I'm recording now out, but then the following week I may not have any videos, or I may only have a few, just because I do all my recording typically on Sundays. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of give you all a reminder of that. And so yeah, let's go ahead and continue working on this thing, and I'm going to keep going, and I'll bring you back when we are getting close to hitting down at the bottom. I'll see you guys in a bit. Bye. Alright guys, bring you back for a little update here. I had to come back up to the base and get some extra blocks, or some more blocks rather, and queue up more. This is taking quite a few blocks. But we got the platform down here, and one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to put some backstops in too, just in case, you know, if we go barreling off the side or something, you know, that prevents any problems. So let's actually do that right now. What I have in mind for that too is let's take the symmetry plane off, and the debug can come off at the moment. But what I have in mind for that is probably we will use, here, let me get the blocks back on the toolbar here. Probably we're going to use these guys right here. So we'll flip those around, and I've got this little, this will be like a little access point, you know, so if we had to ever get up here on foot, we could come up here, jump up, and then come through here. So I don't think, I wonder if the motorcycle would go barreling through there. We might actually want to put a door there, just in case. But we want to bring this out to, probably maybe there, I guess. And then we'll put another layer this way too. And we might let's clear this mountain out of the way. So let's see, we want ground drill. So we'll remove this stuff. I mean, I suppose we could use the mountain itself as the backdrop, but I want to make it square at least. And I want to, you know, leave enough room on the pad here too, so we have, you know, room to kind of turn if we're in a larger hovercraft, like the RV. It won't be so bad with just the hunter hovercraft and the motorcycle. Let's pop that off of there. Okay, and then we'll block this in. Like so. And trim just a little bit more right here. Okay, I think that's good. And now we'll go back to the blocks. That'll be a doorway. I've decided too, by the way, for the time being anyhow, that I'm not going to go off this way with the ramp. We might do that later. I don't know. We'll see. But for now, we're just going to go with just this one side. It's a fair amount of work to do this too. It's taken me quite a while. You guys don't see that as much because, of course, I'm doing most of it off camera, but it's quite a bit of work to do this. And it's taken quite a few blocks. So let's put those in. Now this guy's going to have to be... will it let us attach it this way? Probably not. Okay. The only way that's going to work then is if we put another block down here, I guess. If we can get it. There we go. And, oh, you know what? I just thought of something. That could actually be... Maybe we'll make that the access instead. Where are we at? Here we go. So let's cover that up. And then we can come through here. Kind of carve some of this away. So that way, even if the motorcycle did barrel through the doorway, it's just going to hit the mountain here. Yeah, something like that. What if we also carve some of that back a little bit too? And maybe we put a tip right there, except for it's got to be this one. Something like that. I mean, because we're down here on foot, we'll just jet jump up to here and then pop up that way. Okay. Yeah, good enough for that. Now, we are going to have the same issue over here, though, aren't we? So let's add... What if we put just a plate in there? Maybe we'll do it on both sides. Oh, here comes those drones. Hopefully they'll go towards the base and not come this way. I guess we're going to find out in a second, aren't we? And then these can go right there, and then right there. Yeah, the cannons are taking them out. Okay, good. So that takes care of our backstop. I wonder too if we probably don't need to put anything on this side. I guess the one thing it could potentially do if we did put it on this side, though, is that it could just make sure that, you know, we're lined up. Come on, get up there, bud. There we go. It could just make sure that, you know, we're lined up for this ramp before we go up and not accidentally go off that corner, I suppose. As usual, I'm making this all up as I go, so... Alright, and if we're going to do that, let's put one more row in here just so it's all nice and even and symmetrical. There we go. Okay, so let's actually test this out on the motorcycle. So we'll put the bike down here. And we'll run down this way. We'll simulate this on the bike for now, and then we'll try it on the hovercraft later. Okay, so we're just if we're just kind of barreling up here and we're not paying attention or whatever, then we just hit the backstop and we don't go barreling off the other side. Then we have to kind of pivot around, get lined up this way, and then scooch right on up the ramp. Ooh, nice wheelie. Okay, let's turn around and come back the other way now. For a motorcycle, man, this thing sure doesn't turn very sharply. Okay, so now if we're just barreling off the side here, we can go full bore down here and hit the backstop, and we don't go barreling off the side. Never mind the fact that I just went through the windshield there. That's beside the point. Okay, cool. So I think that works out pretty good. Let's pick this guy up. And now we're going to continue down here with the more blocks. Now we are getting pretty damn steep, and it's getting higher and higher. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. If we just keep going anyway. At some point, though, because of how steep this is, I mean, our angle is shallower than the angle of the mountain, so you know I'm having to put a lot of blocks down here. So we might need to do another platform and maybe go a different direction. The other option is that we go at an even steeper angle. We switch to the 45-degree angle instead to come down through here. So not really sure yet. What I'm thinking we might have to do, though, actually is, you know, just keep this angle going until we get to there, and then, you know, turn it left and start going over the top of that ridge rather than all the way down to there, just because here again it's just really steep. So I don't know. I'm gonna bring it down further, though, at least until we get to, well, okay, what if we crossed it over right here? Yeah, we lost contact with the drone. We could maybe do that. Maybe we make the platform here and then go off down that direction. Because I think that, you know, I think once we kind of get down into that green there, we probably are good to go. Probably won't need any more ramp. I don't know. That sounds like that might be a smart thing to do, actually, the more I think about this. So maybe we'll do that. Let's go ahead and see if we can kind of line this up a bit. So if we stop right here, then we can kind of go this direction. I'm going to lose contact here. And just keep bringing the angle down until it gets more or less level with this top of the mountain here. And then go down into that valley that way. Yeah, you know what? I think that's what we're going to do. That seems to make the most sense here. What I want to do, though, is I want to get a feel for where we should actually start this platform. You know, start the turn. If we want to aim right for the top of that, we're probably right about where we want to be. I'm thinking. Okay. What if we do this as well? And let's bring it down to here. So we'll finish this part out here. Okay. Before we do anything more with this, let's just let's put these pieces in. So you get up there. Nope, that's not where you were supposed to go. Squirrely drones and everything, right? Put that there. Put that there. Okay. Now I'm gonna get a little closer to here. Actually, no, I want to get about on this corner. So our angle coming down this way then is going to be I'm just going to kind of eyeball this. The platform will, if it stays flat to say about here-ish, and then it starts to come down at an angle to kind of having to do both buttons at the same time till it gets to about here, and then maybe we can level it out some more. Whoa! I knew that was going to happen. Son of a bitch. I never listen. I never listen to that voice in my head that says, you know, you probably shouldn't stand right next to the frickin' edge there because when you get back in your drone, you might jump off the edge. But no, I don't listen. I don't listen. All I can say is it's a damn good thing in this space-aged game that a little pink bandage will fix a broken leg instantly. That's all I can say about that. Okay. Alright, so let's run back down here. And this time we won't stand right on the frickin' corner. Okay. So, yeah, I think that's probably where we want to be. If we're going to hit the top of that. So let's make this platform come out to here. I'm going to turn the SI back on too. We want to make it a little wider too, so we have some room to, you know, turn around as needed. How wide did I make this one up here? It is... Well, the ramp is 5 blocks wide. The landing happens to be 8 blocks wide. But it's not even on both sides. Okay. So maybe for this one, you know, just so we're not putting too much stress on stuff, we do a 7 block wide. And if, you know, if it turns out like in the RV, for example, there's not quite enough space, then, you know, we can extend it later. But I think I'm going to just see if I can get away with doing this one. Okay. And okay, so let's put our rails in. I think for this guy, we'll put a plate down here. There we go. And up on top, whoop. You need very fine mouse movement skills there. You know what, too, now that I think about it, maybe what we'll do, just so we can get this to work properly on the other edge, we'll put these on a plate too. And then we can put these here. Oh, I forgot to turn the SI off, didn't I? Let's do that. Or not the SI, the symmetry. Okay. So we'll put these here. Oh, for Pete's sake. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that's getting a little red on the end there. Accidentally hit that sucker. In fact, if we're going to do this, we could bring these back. Reduce the stress of one block anyway. Okay. And then these will flip around this way. Like so. And we'll put that one there. And that one there. And then these all come back off. Like so. We do have a little bit of a gap here. Oh, right, because we don't need to use the plate. There we go. Okay, cool. Now, let's get over here. SI looks pretty decent. Starting to get a little orangish in the corners, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. This might be a little tight in the RV. I don't know. We'll have to see. But like I said, I mean, if it turns out to be a little too snug, I can make it bigger later. We'll just have to put more supports down. Okay, so yeah, not quite at the edge there, old guy. Let's learn from our mistakes, shall we? So let's see. The center of this is going to be... Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is supposed to be 7 blocks. Is it it's 7 this way, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we needed to actually come out one more this way. All right. Let's do it. I have to pull these back down. Curious to see how this is gonna hold up. Yeah, I think it'll be okay. So that's going to mean this is going to be the center right here. Let's pull that plate back off and put one here. I think that's what we want to do. You know, the funny thing is if this thing actually comes crashing down, I'm going to come crashing down with it. Okay. And then we just put this one there and there. Beautiful. That gives us one more block anyway, so it gives us just a bit more space to maneuver back around. Okay. Now we're going to have to run blocks. That is a long way down. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to start at the bottom. And kind of do it the bottom half first and then the top half, because it's too long for one stretch of blocks. We'll just bring this platform all the way over here. Whoa. Now we're fairly level, so I'm going to use a plane. Come across this way. And just try not to waste too many blocks here, because they are kind of expensive. Drone's getting out of connection range here. Okay, so that's the very center of the ramp. That hit pretty good, actually, because what we can do then is right in the middle of where my drone is, that little kind of greenish area is raised up enough to where, you know, we can use that as a, you know, to run the support, so we're not having to go down so far. Okay. So we'll bring these down. I'm going to do these one at a time just because I've seen it to where sometimes if you do a bunch at the same time, you know, with the holding control down kind of thing, that it can sometimes get ahead of itself and cause stuff to collapse. Happened to me earlier when I was doing some of this off camera here. Of course, for this, it probably wouldn't matter as much. But then I screw it up and then have to undo it, so I don't know, it's probably not saving me that much time as opposed to just doing it like this. It's kind of funny how it takes the game a little bit of time to figure out what the actual SI is before it changes color. Okay, so that brings us down to that point. So let's go ahead and get the ramp set up up to that point. Whoops. Oh, we need to put the plane back on too here. So let's do that. We'll go symmetry plane, and we want to be back to YZ, and we want to set it right there. Yeah, sometimes it does that. We'll just have to replace that block after everything else is in place. So we'll set these all up first. Pop him back in place, and then we'll do the tips. Gotta love that symmetry plane, man. It's one of the reasons why this is one of my favorite games to build in. You know, I do builds in Ark and I do builds in 7 Days to Die, but you just can't beat that symmetry plane for this game. Okay, let's put these in. You know, there's another game that I actually have. I've only spent very, very small period of time, maybe an hour or two. It's called Empyrion. I think it's called that, something like that. And if you guys have been playing Space Engineers or Empyrion for a while, you've probably at least heard of it, if not played it yourself. And it's a very building focused game. It's like even more hardcore, I think, than Space Engineers. And it's got, you know, tools like the symmetry plane and all that, and other cool tools as well that you can build, you know, spaceships and that sort of thing. I don't know if you can build bases as well in that game, or if it's just spaceships. But anyway, but it's kind of a, I don't know if it's a one-man developer type of game or a very small, you know, company, and it's still an early access game as far as I know. So it's not something that I really have time to do myself these days, but it is a pretty interesting game. So, you know, if you like building and using, you know, those kinds of tools, it's something you might look into. It's called Empyrion, Avorian or O, and something like that. You'll have to look it up on Steam. But anyway, just thought I'd throw it out there for you guys if you weren't aware of it. Okay, so we're almost out of blocks again. We've got a few left there. So let's get back up to the drone, and now we're going to make another platform here. I'm not planning on at this point putting like guardrails on this ramp. If it turns out though that I end up barreling off the side a lot, I might end up doing that. But for now, we're going to just trust our elite driving skills. Which is a mistake, I'm sure. But because this is just a flat area and it's not an actual... oh, that was weird. What the hell? Oh, you know what, you guys? I think I've just reached the limit of how far I can go away from the core. Yeah, that's exactly what happened, I bet. Wow. Okay, so that's I completely forgot all about that. That's going to make things interesting. We might have to set up another base just to keep this going. You know, set like another core. So maybe what we'll do is we'll like set up a little building here. This could be like, you know, the halfway point up the mountain kind of idea. With a new core, and then extend the ramp on down from there. Yeah, I'm thinking that's probably what we're going to have to do. And I'm probably going to have to, you know, try and eyeball it to get it as lined up as we can to the existing blocks. I wonder, too... Yeah, that's just really weird. What happens if we remove this last row? Yeah, that just seems kind of buggy to me, so I'm going to take this last row off so we have solid blocks to the end of here. But anyway, we are out of time. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, I'd like to invite all of you to come and join us on Discord if you want to. I have a great Discord community going on, and you can come and chat with me during the day if you want to. And if you are not aware, I also live stream on Twitch several times a week. You can find the link to my Twitch channel and to the Discord in the About section of the YouTube channel. I will be back in the next episode, and we're going to continue on. Like I said, I think the plan will be that we'll build like a little waypoint building here with a new core, so that we can continue on extending the ramp on down the mountain from there. Okay? So you guys have a great rest of your day. See you in the next episode. Bye.